Anthony Joshua was in a crash in Nigeria, and this is the aftermath. Speaking of, Floyd, in a more kind of damn, we were so high with football, and now we going down. We got to find a way to get out of here. But I think this is a big story, especially after the big Anthony Joshua
Mm.
Jake Paul fight. Let me turn this down a little bit, but got some video here. Nothing graphic though. I know there's some graphic. I haven't seen the graphic ones. I don't want to see the graphic ones. I'm not about that messing, putting that, burning that image. But very, very lucky man, and unfortunately, some unlucky folks. Also, Anthony Joshua was in a crash in Nigeria, and this is the aftermath.
Right couple group.
Men will bring this man out. Now wait till he will survive.
Oh boy.
So that was there's other videos of people helping him out the car. Obviously, you seen him wincing in pain, um, without a scratch. Supposedly, minor injuries, probably whiplash. I'm sure he's feeling it, but now mentally, because he lost two of his close and his homies in the ride. There was four people: the driver, him, and two of his homies. Two of his homies, unfortunately, passed away. One of them doing big things in the humanitarian. I think I saw and I read out there, doing some big things out there in Africa, from a humanitarian side, doing good for a lot of people, and not, nobody knew about it until this happened. So, even love it even more. But looking at Joshua at this moment and the call out with Fury after this fight and the mega fight that they were going to more likely have in Wilmington after Fury kind of called him out. He gets it done as his tune up fight to get Fury. But after something like this shakes you. It changes the way you look at life. It changes you in general. People around you. You go back in that gym, and the two guys who were always there are no longer there, and you were your guys. Not even talking about whose fault, how it happened, blah blah blah. What does this do to Anthony Joshua's boxing career? Like, should he? Is he done? Is he retired? Like, how do you? How can he go back?
Yeah. Yeah, I one obviously, condolences to Joshua and his friends. Those names is Gami and Lots. Um, like you said, two close friends of his. One was his coach, and obviously long term coach. And one was his best friend.
Yeah.
And there was videos circulating with them, actually prior to them when they got to Nigeria and them having a good time and smiling and having fun. And it's amazing, it just tells you how precious life is. You can be at the highest of high 1 week, just a week ago. You just made $92 million, $90+ million a week ago. You're celebrating with your people, the same people that you just lost that day, a week later. And it just lets you know how fragile and how precious life is. So make sure you guys, I know we always laugh and joke on this podcast, but let's make sure that we are, telling people that we love, that are close to us, that we do love them. And because you never know, it can be today and be gone tomorrow, as the saying goes. As far as Anthony Joshua continues his boxing career, I'm sure that's probably the furthest thing he's thinking about at the moment. I think maybe the closest thing would get him back in the ring would be the deaths of his friend, so he can honor them in some way that he knows how, which is probably boxing, which
That's
probably
what I
got them
think.
together.
Yeah.
That may be that he'll have a lot of. That'd be a long process.
I think it'd be one and done.
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously financially, he made a lot of money this past week or a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good financially. So
No,
I think
he got cooked. He got cooked on that, John. They hit him both sides.
well,
Pause. They hit taxes. He got taxed in the States because the fight was in the States, and then he got taxed
when he got home.
when he got home.
Well, yeah, I
So
mean, so say he
he,
took Thursday. Say he took 30 back. I mean, it's
yeah,
still
he only made like 30 million.
the biggest payday he's ever had at one time. So I think you know, I'm with you. I think it's a tough place to kind of get back into the ring and get yourself back focused. And maybe he does do that one last time. And if he does win that, maybe that catapults him or he could retire. I don't know. This is a tough moment for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's blessed to be alive. He'll take, you know, that he's a big guy too. That car crash looks crazy. So I'm sure
It was wild.
he's blessed to
Like a
come out of there
sardine.
like that. Yeah. So you know, I just wish the best for him. And he got super popular because, especially, you know, it's so crazy because a lot of people didn't even know who Anthony Joshua was, especially the female community. So it's like this lover boy just popped up on the scene all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing the lady over here like, "Oh, who's that?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, that boy, he been around.
Yeah, right. Hey,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
boy old.
So,
Yeah,
but he
what you
out here
talking
walking
about?
around like, you know what I'm saying, shirt
Yeah.
off. So
Yeah.
he's become, I think, in America, he's gotten a little bit more popular, especially as the
Surprisingly, that was only his second fight in the States. You know, a
yeah.
lot of
So a
people
lot
don't
of people
know
didn't
that.
know about him, and the
Yeah,
ladies
yeah.
love him at the moment. So you know, it's amazing how you, like you said, just be up and down.
Yeah, just like
And
that.
and I
You
hope,
ain't
the
gonna be
best
taken away.
and condolences and rest in peace to his
Yeah, I agree with you there. And that's why I kind of said with the part of from the boxing perspective, the it will be dreary. It will be weird. He doesn't see those voices. He doesn't hear that laughter. So all that mindset will really play with him because I thought the Fury call out after the Jake Paul fight was great timing. All the eyes were on that fight. Everybody was watching it on Netflix. So I thought it was great timing. And then I thought that he had been through enough deep waters to take on that fight.
Mm,
Early on in his career when he was young, we saw the holes in the game, but he got smacked down. And just like every man should teach his son, or every father should teach his son, or even man teaching a young boy, you get knocked down 9 times, you get up 10. We've all
mhm.
heard that before. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Joshua went through that live and in living color with a lot of those kind of tough, shocking losses that he had. And I think this would have, like you said, it kind of catapulted him to the top tier, biggest name going around in boxing.
Mhm.
The super fight was there, obviously in Wilmington, over 100,000 people, would have set all kind of records and craziness. And then just like that, snap of a finger,
Yeah.
it all changes. So, like you said, hopefully he comes out better. I don't know if he can because that something like that'll change, especially you're in the car, you're stuck in the car,
Yeah.
visuals and all that stuff is probably insane, embedded, burnt in your head for the rest of your life. You'll never ever forget that moment, what happened, how everything slowed down, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so I've never been in a car crash where there was a fatality, but I've been in a car crash before. So I kind of understand maybe what that scene, at least leading
Mhm.
up to that, was. And I understand the feeling of what you feel afterwards. Shock, obviously, your body's in shock, your mind is in shock. So you don't feel things until 2 or 3 days later. So I'm sure he's going through all that. But I do hope to see him back in the ring. I would understand if he's done.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For
I would
sure.
understand if he's done.